Hello, my name is Kathy Jameson, the Proposition Lady, and today I'm going to talk about California voter turnout in the November 2022 midterm election. According to the Secretary of State's website, only 41.5% of eligible California voters participated in our last election. That's less than half, folks. Wow, we just don't care about voting in the midterms anymore, do we? When I looked up voter turnout information for the midterm election 100 years ago, in November of 1922, voter turnout in California was a whopping 41.3%. 41.3%? Wait a minute, what? You mean we never cared about voting in the midterms? Holy mackerel. We seem to care more about voting when it comes to presidential election years. Those presidents seem to get all the attention, and for good reason. The US president has a great impact on our daily lives, from representing the country around the world, to appointing an attorney general who decides how to focus the powers of the justice system, to simply being in the news every day. Even the name midterm refers to the middle of the president's term in office. But do the issues and offices we vote on in the midterms have so low an impact as to not matter? What are we missing out on when we don't vote in the midterms? Here are some of the things we decided in November. In terms of statewide office, we re-elected our governor, and we filled one of only 2 U.S. Senator seats to represent California in Washington, D.C. In terms of the ballot measures, we upheld a ban on flavored tobacco products. So if you smoke menthol cigarettes and are wondering why they disappeared from store shelves in December, we did that in the midterm election, and if you chose not to vote, you let 41.5% of us make that decision on your behalf. Looking more locally, many cities across the state voted for mayor or city council. The mayor has a huge impact on our daily lives, prioritizing the issues we spend tax dollars on and how those dollars are spent. If you're concerned about the population of unhoused people in your city, or about property crime rates, or the amount of graffiti on our streets and highways, it's the mayor, along with the city council, who decides whether and how those issues will be addressed, not the senator, and definitely not the president. Here in San Jose, we elected a new mayor, and in this city of over 1 million people, only 250,000 cast a vote, and ultimately the race was decided by just over 6,000 votes. In a close race like that, you can really see how every vote can make a difference. So, why didn't more people vote? To be honest, no one really knows for sure, but we can identify some likely reasons. To start, many people feel that their vote doesn't really count. And when looking at the statewide offices, you can see why a Republican in California might feel that voting is a futile exercise. I imagine Democrats in Utah feel the exact same way. But that doesn't explain why we'd get more Republicans voting in a presidential election year than in the midterms. Because the president is decided by the Electoral College rather than the popular vote, and because all of California's electoral votes go to the candidate who wins the majority, a Republican's vote for president is just as impactful as a Republican's vote for governor. When we look more locally, sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between candidates. The race for San Jose mayor came down to 2 Democrats with similar views, so it may have felt like your vote didn't matter much, even for a Democrat. And in terms of other local offices, there are no debates, and it can sometimes be tough to even find out who the candidates are or how they would perform in office. And what about the propositions? I mean, I am the proposition lady after all. The ballot measures have a huge impact on our daily lives, and they are not all neatly segregated by political affiliation, so everyone's vote can have an impact. But due to incessant TV ads with conflicting messages, it can be hard to sort fact from fiction. I know it can be frustrating. And when you combine the lack of transparent information with the reality that so many things are competing for our attention, you start to understand why people don't engage. After working 10 hours or 2 jobs, paying the bills, making dinner, and getting the cats to bed, most people are so exhausted they simply don't have the energy to sort out their ballots. It's all we can do to watch the Warriors game and get some rest before waking up to do it all over again. But we have to try and engage. Many people believe that the USA has the best political system in the world. And what does that system ask of its citizens? It's mainly taxes, voting, and jury duty. And we resist those as hard as we can. But we need to boost our engagement, or our world can change in ways we might not like. And by the time we take notice, it could be too late to change it back. Plus, both voting and jury duty can be very interesting if we give them half a chance. Let's try and stay engaged between political cycles instead of just cramming the week before an election. One thing you can do right now is find out who your local representatives are. Your mayor, city council member, state senator, and U.S. congressperson. They all have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media accounts. Find them and engage. That way, while you're scrolling through your social media feed, you can see what they're focusing on and accomplishing. If you really want to get crazy, try attending a city council meeting. They usually happen weekly, and most can be accessed via Zoom. Bring your kids. Bribe them if you have to. Heck, bribe yourself if you have to. If you go, you'll get more insight into the decision-making process and the people in charge, and you'll be more prepared to cast your vote next time they're up for election. I'll do my best to help. As we look towards 2024, I'll be taking a closer look at not just the propositions, but the stakes involved in the primary elections and the impact of some of the local offices. Voting is a privilege that many people in the world do not enjoy. And as they say, use it or lose it, baby. We can do this. I'm Kathy Jameson, the Proposition Lady, and I appreciate you being here with me today. See you soon, California voters. Bye now.